It's interesting. I imagine in South Korea where you are, it's kind of like impossible for you to just go out on the street without being just mobbed by people. But when you come back to Toronto, what's your experience like? Do people recognize you often?
So I think I, maybe you already know, but I grew up in Toronto. I
Hmm.
spent my whole life in Toronto. All my friends, my family, are all in Toronto, and that's really where I started before this all happened. Coming to Korea and joining the pop idol group and all. But when I go back, it's more like everyone's just like, oh, he's back, and it's more like getting reunited with my friends. But then it was crazy because when K-pop really started to pick up, that's when it just started going crazy and everything. I would go back, and then I never expected people to recognize me back in Toronto,
Hmm.
but everyone was just like, oh, that's Henry over there, that's Henry over there. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But and then the next thing you know, we were in my label back then told me that we're having a concert at Madison Square Garden. I was like, what? And then they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, sold out. And so then, it's just amazing to be there when all the craze started to happen. And I'm just happy to be along with the ride right now.
So
Yeah.
as a young high school student in Willowdale, like what was your mindset when you were auditioning that very first time? Were you like, this is going to be a big thing? Was it just a lark? Like where was
No,
your head at?
I took part in this audition that what my label they held this global audition, and they decided to come to Toronto, and I actually knew nothing about this label or anything about Korea or K-pop. There was not much K-pop back then.
Yeah.
And one of my friends told me about it. She's like, you have to go and you have to go check it out. So then I just went with no big expectations, and they decided to offer me a contract to go over to Korea. And I was like, wow. And then, one thing led to another, and here I am.
Yeah. And it's really apt that this album is Journey, because your journey is a wild one. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy because this, my new album that I just came out with is called Journey. And it's kind of cool because I'm talking to you, and you're from Toronto right now. And that's where my entire journey started,
Hmm.
right where you are. I was just a normal kid from Toronto, going to school like everybody else. And I was just a kid with big dreams, and that's where the journey started. And yeah.
Now it's been like 6 years between albums for you, but music has never stopped, right? Has,
Yeah.
were there projects that you maybe didn't finish or started, and like what was that like for you in the interim?
So my fans all know I it's been 6 years since I've come up with an album, but
Mm.
in between the 6 years, like I was constantly working. I mean, I traveled the world. We toured America when we were in Canada. Actually, no, I didn't have a show in Canada yet, which is crazy. I've always wanted to, but uh, I shot movies, so it wasn't like just 6 years of just kind of go away doing nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I really want to have a show in Toronto. I think that would be that'd be kind of weird. It'd be like half of like all my like family and friends,
I
which
think
really
a
pretty
homecoming
cool.
show would be insane. Like that would be wild. Because the people that already know your story are already so involved, right? I
Yeah.
think it's interesting given like your stardom, because yeah, like I I saw your Netflix movie before I knew I was going to be interviewing you. I was like, oh, I love
Wow.
this movie. This movie is great. And like, you're the question is like, how often do you find yourself kind of reintroducing yourself at this point?
Well, I think now, because we're constantly getting more and more connected, so I constantly find myself going to new countries and new areas where people don't necessarily know me. But it's awesome how K-pop is kind of like bring everyone together. So I find myself introducing myself a lot, which I love. But these days, it's I'm very lucky, but more and more people are getting to know me. But I'm also very excited to be going into newer markets.
Yeah. So tell us all about Journey. Like what's the sound? What inspired it?
Okay, so like I said, I've been working on this album for a pretty long time now, and I was trying to think of a word that would kind of summarize all the songs and all the sound and my whole story. And the one word that came to me was just journey, because I just wanted to just in this album is just a reflection of basically me. So I wanted just to show my fans to show them basically my journey, and that's what I came up with. There's a total of 6 songs on the album, and there's combination. There's English song. There's a whole entire song in there that's completely English, because I know there are a lot of English speaking fans out there that have been constantly supporting me, and they've always been wanting me to just come up with a completely English song. So there's a song on the album called "Just Be Me." It's completely sung in English. So if whoever's watching this show right now, if you guys have some time, take a listen to that. There's a bunch of Korean songs, and there's a song on there called "Come Over," which was actually made in my house, because at that time, we were all hit with COVID, and we were all forced to quarantine at home. So what I actually did was I came up with these ideas at home, and I put them all into a song called "Come Over." So it's a really interesting album, and I think my fans will love it. And yeah.
I also have to compliment you on your YouTube, your Instagram, your TikTok. Like, you have a massive presence and a massive following. What's it like for you to be able to connect to your fans, like, kind of directly in that way?
Yeah. Well, I try my best in whatever way it is to connect with my fans, especially in times like this, because, right when COVID hit, I was like, wait, hey, we have to do more things to give to keep people, thinking in an optimistic way. And, because everyone was kind of like, not in a good place back then. And still now. So that's when I, started my YouTube channel. I made I never did YouTube before. I started YouTube. I started TikTok, and I put even as many updates as possible on all my different channels. And one thing led to another, and now here I am, just constantly at the service of the public, trying to give you guys as much good content as possible, good music. Yeah.
It's funny. I found myself scrolling through your radio challenge and your Henry's Journey, seeing all those before and after photos, the videos that you guys took.
Yeah.
And in a way, it like informed me more of your history than even, seeing interviews and reading up about you. Tell the fans what it's like to kind of like, I don't know, to look back on your history as an artist and like connect and reconnect with the people that have been a big part of your journey.
Yeah. So, tell everyone a little story, a background about this radio challenge. So, I have, my albums, one of the singles on the album is called Radio. And this song, it just talks, when I was making it, I thought a lot about my past and my journey. Even memories back in Canada and everything. So then I was like, hey, why don't I just make a challenge where we can reenact all the old memories that, in pictures. So what we would do is, just give you like a basic thing, is I would have the really old picture, for example, of me, like a little young baby Henry, and then I would wear the exact same clothes, and we would reenact it, and we would put it up on a TikTok and make it a really cute video. But while I was looking through all these pictures, it just made me think like, wow, we came a long way, you know?
Yeah.
And also, you know, like, oh, wow, I got a little fatter over the years. But aside from that, it's just, I'm just really thankful that, you know, that this all happened, and it's crazy that this all happened. And one thing I really want to do is I really want to go back to Canada, and because I have all my friends are back there. So if we could just do a radio challenge with all my friends, you know, back when we were in preschool or something, you know, pictures like that'd be awesome. Yeah.
You got to do it. And it's muscle, man. It's muscle. It's not fat, right?
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. You got it. Thanks, bro. Yeah.
So like K-pop is so huge, and now you have aspiring K-pop artists all over the world that love the music and they want to be in the biz. Do you have any advice that you could give to them?
A lot of people ask me that. I have a lot of friends back in Toronto, and they have like, you know, younger siblings that they want to do it, but they're not sure if this is what they should do. My biggest advice is, you know, anything can happen, you know, but you still have to. A lot of people would be like, hey, should I just give up everything and just you know, kind of pursue it? What I did, this was my dream. This was my goal, to be a K-pop star. And I actually put my everything into it. But what I also did was I was still studying. I was still doing my other, you know, my other part. I was still, you know, I didn't give up everything. So I would say, you know, just keep up what you're doing now. But also, you know, I don't know how to really say, just don't give up completely on your other life. Yeah.
Right.
But anything can happen. And I was just I was the everyday, like the most normal kid from Toronto ever. So yeah, things happen.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, look, congratulations. I'm happy to see that you're like in a place where you're, you know, you're productive, you're happy, and you're in control. That's amazing, man. You know, one day when you get back to Toronto, we should reconnect, because there's so much to talk about too with Drum World and everything else. So all the best to you. We got to wrap it up, but yeah, this has been cool, man.
No, thank you so much for all your time. And please tell everybody back in Toronto, I miss them all. I miss you guys. You guys are why I'm here today. You guys are the reason. And my dad and mom are probably watching, but hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.